ark for us. Have you been sitting around waiting on God to come down with hammers and nails and build your ark? And are you disappointed because he hasn't built it for you? He was never supposed to build your ark. He was not supposed to build your ark. He was not supposed to build your ark. It is your job to build the ark. It was his job to warn you. It was your job to build it. Touch 3 people and say, build your house.
Build your house.
It's time to build your house. It's time to build your house. Talking to you on the internet, it's time to build your house. It's time to build your house. Stop crying about, oh, things aren't going right. It's not working out. We're the Lord going to do something because the Lord is sitting up there crying in heaven. Saying, oh, God, look at how her life is not working out. When is she going to do something? Faith does not mean that God does your work. Faith does not mean that God does your work. By faith, Noah, being warned of God of things not yet seen, built an ark. Faith doesn't mean that you don't have fear, and faith doesn't mean that you don't have to work. Faith will not do your work for you. I'm waiting on the Lord to do something. He waiting on you to do something. In fact, your next action is God's trigger. I'm going to prove it to you by scripture. Your next action is God's trigger. Let me find it. Let's see. Blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. In that law doth he meditate both day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that bringeth forth fruit in his own season. His leaf shall not wither. There it is. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Whatsoever he what? Shall what? Prosper. God can't prosper what you won't do. If you don't build it, he can't bless it. Oh my God.
Don't worry, we will send this message to everybody. Alright, so that during the week you can still listen to it. But I think you got the message. It is time again, although there is darkness all around us. It is time to, yes. Yes, please.
And it's not just for me, I think it's for everybody. Obviously he's using the ark as a metaphor.
Yes.
What does the ark represent to us as a people?
Now, on many levels, the ark, from a congregational level, the ark represents salvation. It is the ark that saved 7 people and animals. Now, in the spirit, the ark is still like a type of safety, a place where you can hide from the storms of life. The Bible says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and they're safe. The simple thing that the ark did was safety. Okay? Now, if you bring it to an individual level, which he's doing now, is to say, what is it that you are working on in your life as a person, as an individual, that can provide for you a place of security? Now he said, stop looking at what has happened in the past, but rather look at what you can invest in the future. Now because of time, he actually said that a lot of times we put a lot of investment in terms of our time, our money, our treasures on things that really do not really last. For example, you have money, you have some extra cash, you go and buy a car. Now that car, the very moment you drive it out of the store, depreciates. Okay? Now what happens in a year's time? They are still taking interest, they're still paying. He says at that level, what you're doing is that you are using your present resources to sort out things that has to do with the past. But investing in the future, investing in your future is to bring investment into things that will never depreciate. Okay, if you look at it from a financial point of view, it could be land, it could be a bond, it could be some capital that you put into an investment that will always yield profit for you. Now, if you bring it also in terms of marriage, in terms of relationship, it took Noah nail and hammer, which is a sign, is a type of hard work and a type of pain, to build that ark in the face of people coming and jeering at him and mocking him. The Bible said he kept building that ark. Guess what? While he was building that ark, he was telling the people that a storm is coming, and the people are saying, what is a storm? Because at that particular time they had never experienced rain before. Now, a lot of times when it comes to our relationships, like we're sharing with the guys this morning at the men's event, marriage, for instance, is so hard that if you look at Hollywood, you see people married for 2 months, and guess what? They say they quit. They don't want to do it anymore. The building of an ark requires pain, requires consistency, requires diligence, requires patience. Now, when Noah built that ark, eventually people came and saw it and said, wow, it's beautiful, but it's on the floor. What is this ark? What is it meant to do? Guess what? There are things you're going through right now in your marriage, in your relationship, that people are looking at you and saying, why must you go through this? The hammer and the nail, a type of pain. Why are you going through it? Well, guess what? One day, the rain came. The storm came. Guess what was on the water? The only thing that was on the water, what Noah had built. Every other thing was submerged. So, as we go into the week, faith teaches us to do certain things that God has opened our eyes to see, that others may be laughing at, or others haven't picked up yet. But when they ask you, why are you doing this? For an instance, when you switched from accountancy to being a stylist, that was an act of faith. And I remember you saying, a lot of people laughed at you, that what are you doing? Are you crazy? But today, with times to come, when you begin to show the dividends of your obedience to God and the things that God has shown to you, others now want to copy you. The truth of the matter is that everything you do in life requires diligence, requires consistency. But if you are building your building based on what others are saying or what others are doing, you will be doing something opposite to what Noah did. Noah could have packed that thing up. He could have packed that up. Lord, I don't know this thing you're showing me, but the people don't know what a storm is. They don't know what rain is. They've never seen it before. Why am I doing this? But eventually, Noah was justified. Hallelujah, yes.
Thank you for that. That was really enlightening. Can I also add something, what I got from it?
Yeah.
I felt that when he was talking about our arcs and just saying that we're leaving it to God and God is waiting for us, there are many things that we're hoping and praying for God to do to us. And I think what he was saying was, instead of, that Christian prayer is in God's hands, I think what he was saying was, do something about it. Don't be lazy. And don't give the kind of Christianese answer, I'm leaving it with God. So get busy doing what God wants you to do. Don't just leave it with God. So whatever it is, it could be a relationship, it could be work. Even if it's a course you want to do or you're not earning enough money, go and do the course. God isn't going to throw the job through the letterbox. You have to kind of get your qualifications, do what you need to do, and don't just say, I'm leaving it with God. Move in faith. Faith is an act. It's not just a word that you say. So that's what I got from it.
Awesome.
If you want to win the lottery, you have to buy the ticket.
You don't play the lottery in our house, babe. You don't gamble.
Let's check I have one question.
Yes.
He talked about faith and fear,
Yes.
being next door neighbors. As Christians, I think the question I have is that once you step into the place of faith, there comes an expectation. And I think I'm just using myself. The fear that comes is the fear of, is this expectation going to happen? And rather than how do I manage my fear such that expectation means I don't know in terms of quantifying it, it's a lot to expect.
Yeah.
But when you are not in faith, then you kind of like feel like, okay, at least I can manage whatever that I see. I wasn't expecting anything. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
like trying to understand that what you meant by faith and fear being mixed.
Can I say something quickly?
Yes.
Without
Come, let them see you. Let them see you. Come. Let them.
I'm babe.
okay, this is my perception. Yeah?
Yes.
If it's not big enough, yeah,
Yes.
you're not gonna have fear, and you don't need faith.
Exactly.
Say it again.
If it's not
If
big
it's not
enough.
big enough, you're not gonna have fear, and you don't need faith. Because it's something you can do
Naturally.
Without
walk
having
into it.
Yeah.
When you need to do something above and beyond what you can do normally, then you need faith. And you also have fear because it's
Yes.
something you've never done before. You're thinking, whoa, can I do this thing? Then that's when you need faith.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
I completely agree with Akim up there. I think I've never heard anybody say it like TD Jakes. I love TD Jakes and I listen to his things. I think what we get is that people think that if you have faith, then you can't have fear. But you actually do. So I want to go back to what Pastor Sheikh said. When I quit my city job, even though I left and I had faith, it was definitely faith. I heard what God told me. I still had fear when I was packing up my box on the 13th floor. I'm thinking, you've only ever done accountancy since you were 19. What are you doing? So I still had faith because I wouldn't have left if I didn't have faith. But fear was still there. So they live next door to each other, but you just have to push with the faith in the direction of the faith. So don't expect that because you have faith, fear will be eliminated. There's still echoes in your voice like, have you lost your mind? What are you doing? You know, you're doing fashion and you've only ever done finance. What are you doing? But you're still pushing towards faith. So fear is there in the back, faith is there, but it still whispers to you. So they live along the side of each other. Just have to go with the faith.
First,
What I wanted to say, just respond to those questions possible as Mark represent. But from what you did say, I think for me, Mark represent one's assignment, what you meant to do this, what's the reason for your existence, why you're on earth. So you son that you know exactly why you are here at this point in time, or why you are in certain organization or establishment, or why you are married, or what is it that you are meant to do to bring about change, you know. So don't leave it to someone else to do it. It's your responsibility. You know, for me, that's
Yeah, I just want to add to what she said and what he said. The thing is, faith comes with fear, because like you said, like that's my own perspective also. When we are moving from faith, to the bigger level of things, you are moving from your own stable water you're able to walk on, and you are saying, okay, I'm fine. I remember when I first came to this country, almost 3 years now, I was working somewhere, and God would just say, you have to take the leap of faith and change from what you are doing. And I'm just about 3 months or about 4 months old in country, say, with 3 kids and my wife's pregnant. I'm just like, okay, you have to work, find a job. I want to go back to what I was doing, has to do with finance and all the stuff. He said, why can't you do a voluntary work? I said, okay. You just give that thing in my mind. Then I'll now search for it. He guided my step, and I've searched for it now. Then when I got it, I'm just like, okay, this is a bit crazy. The fear just overwhelmed me. Because I looked at myself, I have kids, I have a wife, I have to create everything, I have to pay my rent, I have to pay all the things need to be paid. Then I have to go and work a voluntary work about 4 or 5 days in a week. How am I going to survive? No, the fear was just too much. But I still go ahead, because he sees you with the faith and he guides your step towards the faith. But it comes with fear, because it's something bigger than what you're able to live on. Because if it's the same thing you have been living on, okay, I have the attitude of faith, I know it and everything like that. But faith is another level, and the fear comes with it. So we need to understand that the hack also is the way of the hard work and the way of life of what you need to be done. That's what the hack is. It's not That's why people say, no, you have faith and just go ahead. No, it doesn't. No, don't stop like that. You have to work out towards it.
Right.
You just sit down and just watching. Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to say something specifically to what you mentioned, and it's just because I remember a stage in my life I was going through it. And I think the beginning of all of it actually is hearing God, and actually just, because the thing is that, yes, you can have faith, and fear will always come when you're a human being, but the difference with everything that has been mentioned, even in terms of Noah, was that he heard the voice of God.
Yes.
And I think sometimes what we actually miss is, a lot of us, it may be based on a feeling, it may be based on a desire, but it takes time to actually wait for that word from God. Because when you get that word, you can bank on it. Paul talks about Timothy warring with the words of prophecy that he was given.
Yes.
That means sometimes it's active power. You need to say, I've heard this word, I'm actually going to fight against any resistance that looks like it wants to threaten this thing coming to pass. So a lot of the time, it's even just taking a step back and saying, Lord, this is my desire regarding this thing. What are you saying about it? Because one word from you means I can bank it. When, the angel came to Gideon, he asked God for several confirmations. I read that word and I thought, oh gosh, I'm sure maybe, a miracle happening once, I wouldn't need it to happen almost 2 to 3 times, but the Lord honored it. And because of that, Gideon went forth and he won battles, but he was not a warrior in himself.
Yes.
It was based on what he heard. So, it is, you do get to the point where you need the faith to go forward and to have faith, but I think even the foundation, all of it is, you've heard the voice of God. And I believe that God is such a good Father. You will not ask him for bread and he will give you a stone. You will not ask him for, Lord, I need a confirmation of this word. Is this desire for you? Is this what you have planned for my life? And then he'll decide to ignore you. I don't believe that he will genuinely do that. So I think that that's where it all starts from. Because honestly, when you have that word, you know the God you serve, because he's not going to fail on his character because of you, because of your life. I think that that's just kind of what was led on my heart regarding desires and
The Bible says without faith it's impossible to please God. So if you don't have faith, you're not even in the sight of God. You're not pleasing your maker. And then faith without works is dead.
Yes.
So you have to work towards it. So if you are not working towards it, it's not faith then. So that's
Awesome.
Can I just
Awesome. We have to close the service now. And you guys.
actually,
Okay.
what I wanted to say
1 minute.
is that
1 minute.
everything in my mind, I like what you said about you have to confirm before you can really have that foundation. Because, I'm paraphrasing and translating this on it's he who sends you that you fear not the challenge in front of you. And it's all about your comfort zone. For you to be able to leave your comfort zone, because I'll give you an example in work. To look for a new job, yeah? If you're in a place where it's easy for you, you know your boss, you know everybody, you know you're going to be there for another X number of years. But for you to be able to break into the next level, you have to jump, which means that where you're going, they can sack you in 2 weeks' time. But when you jump to that place, it opens a whole brand new place for you. And when you get there, it's also about maintaining that place where you're going, because you have to build muscles. Because you're in a new place, you're in a new environment, you have to fight different things, you have to maintain where you are. So it's a whole new thing, it's something new entirely that if you get in there, what happens is that, I remember at the beginning of the year when we had the chat, what happens is that when you get in there, there's a lot of panic and chaos. The reaction of the average person back into where you're comfortable. And when you back into that place, you will always identify that place as a dangerous place, which means that you're going to need another bounce of energy to be able to break into that place. So that's why there's fear, because it's like the cloud, it's like panic into a new place, you don't understand it, and you need that power, that strength to be able to maintain that new place. And that's what you encourage.
Hallelujah. Join me, stand everyone, join me today as we go into this new week. We make a determination of faith and action. Faith and action. Let's pray. you make a determination of faith and action. And if you're here, something you believe